First row go.
What's the first step? So our program's called Beat the Streets Providence, and the mission of the program is to put a wrestling team in every school in Providence. And kind of where that came from is I was volunteering in Providence middle schools, and I realized that there's a lot of problems there, and so I thought a lot of it came from the fact that there weren't people believing in kids or showing them pathways to success. And kind of where I got that idea is when I started volunteering. The first teacher that I met, the first thing she said to me was, "This is my bad class, there's no good kids in it." And then she went on to talk about how all the kids' parents aren't in the picture, or they don't want them to speak English, or a whole bunch of different things. And I mean, obviously there's lots of exceptions. There's great parents and there's great teachers out there. But for me, what helped me a lot was I had great coaches in my life. And what I came to realize is that there was really no middle school sports in Providence, that most of it had gotten cut. And I saw wrestling as an opportunity to get sports back in middle schools and to start solving some of the problems that are plaguing Providence middle schools.
Well, one thing I really want to highlight is how much fun the kids are having. So this is really in the context of, a very specifically supervised activity with some very directed coaching and skill building, but it's also just tremendously fun for young people, and it's the physicality of what they're working on comes through really clearly.
So the program I was part of in high school was also called Beat the Streets, and it was, so there's many Beat the Streets. So the one I was in was in New York, and it was similar to this, wrestling, and and they stressed books, and they taught us life skills, and skills that I still hold with me today, and that is why I'm here today, because I know that this program is something great and there's something special in it. And I want these kids to get the same thing that I got out of the program I was a part of. And that's why I come here to help these kids out, because it's time for me to pay back to what I was given.
Yeah, so one thing that's really nice about wrestling is we're a really tight-knit community, and I mean, you can see that if you look in our practice room right now. I don't know how many exactly, but there's got to be 10 coaches in there. And that's just because anyone who's wrestled, they'll tell you it changed their life.
Discipline, determination, really chasing after what you believe in. I really did learn a lot, because the training and the wrestling translated off the mat, translated into my books, translated at home, translated with my friends socially. And just the way I carried myself. And so wrestling really did a lot for me, and just having the right coaches. And in this program, same thing. They have the greatest coaches. They have enough coaches. And I really think that I hope these kids are going to get more out of what I got out of the program I was a part of.
Just in the 2.5 weeks, really, that the kids have been coming to the program, you see the self-esteem, you see their sense of attainment, you see their own surprise at what they're able to achieve, and the skill building that they're doing, but also the kind of personal growth that they're achieving is remarkable in such a short time.
And I think it has a really special ability to give kids the confidence to believe that they can succeed if they're not getting it in the classroom or getting that at home. And that's because in wrestling, it's this really weird sport where anyone can do it. You can be a girl, you can be a guy, you can be 96 pounds, you can be 285 pounds. There's weight classes, there's guys with one leg. There's a guy with one leg who won a national championship. Me, I'm incredibly uncoordinated and unathletic and short. And I only weigh 135 pounds, and yet I've been able to succeed on the national level. And it's wrestling.
I love some of the gender dynamics. As a woman who does athletics and as an adult woman, I really appreciate seeing the young women feel their way. And each time when we've come to work with the students, the young women would express some reticence about, well, I'm not sure I can do that. Oh, I'm not sure I'm comfortable doing that with the guys. And then within like 30 seconds, all they want to do is show what they know, show how they can do it with the boys, and just jump in and make it work. And so that's been really affirming, and I see that as really good on both sides of the gender equation, and everyone's really gaining from that tremendously. So that initial reticence, I thought, okay, it'll be 3, 4, 5 weeks and we'll kind of break down the gender barriers. More like 3, 4, 5 minutes, and those barriers are gone and people are just really into the wrestling.
When I started wrestling, I wasn't doing well. I was not going on a very good path. I wasn't doing well in school. I wasn't achieving in anything, really. And I started wrestling, and like I said, it's this weird sport where suddenly I found myself stepping out on a mat, and I was succeeding in something. And once you start succeeding in one thing, you take that over to the rest of your life, especially when it's an individual sport, because there's no one else out there but you. It's just you and one other guy. So when you succeed, you're like, wow, I did that. There wasn't any other teammate out here with me. It was me. And once you have that, like, you have all the confidence you need for anything else that you're going to do in your life. And I honestly believe that I can do anything I set my mind to, and that's because wrestling showed me that if I work hard enough, I'm going to succeed. And that's what I want the kids that we're reaching to have. And I really think we can do it. We have great coaches, and we really emphasize breaking our kids up into mentor groups with one coach throughout the whole program, and that coach is constantly pushing them and telling them that they're great and getting them to believe in themselves. And then when they finally compete, because we have good coaches, they're going to succeed. Not all the time, but if you succeed once in an entire season, you're going to get something really special out of that. And I think that's something that we can bring to these kids. So kind of where we're at right now is we just started our first program at Nathan Bishop Middle School. And in a couple weeks, we're going to start another one at UCAP. And in the next 3 years, we want to be in all the middle schools in Providence. And I think it's something that we can really do because, like I said, wrestling is a cheap sport, so it's sustainable and it's affordable to get in schools quickly, and we can start having a serious impact. In 2012, 440 kids didn't graduate from Providence in the Providence School District. If we're in 8 schools and we have 50 kids in each of our programs, that's 400 kids we can make sure to graduate. And I think we can do that because wrestling teaches you to believe that you can succeed and start investing in yourself. And even if a kid never wrestles again, if he gets that belief that he can succeed and is like, oh, I want to take my after-school time and work more on my homework, I want to take my after-school time and go to a leadership program, that's fine. What we want to do is we want to draw kids who aren't ready to invest in themselves, who don't think that they can be leaders, who don't think that they need to be better at math or do better in school or go to class, and show them that it's worth doing that because they can be good at something, they can be competent at something, and they need to invest in themselves to be competent in other areas of their lives. And I really think we can do that with great mentors who are going to show kids pathways to success and teach them to believe in themselves.